Some people remember what happens to them every day of their lives. So for example, I have two books up on this picture, up on this image. On the left, you have Marilu Henner, the actress. If you ask her, what were you doing December 2nd, 1999, she would absolutely be able to tell you. So would the woman who wrote the book on the right, Jill Price. Both of them have what's called Highly Superior Autobiographical Memory. There were about maybe 20 years ago, there was a 60-minute segment where they got together a group of 8 people like this, the only ones that were known at the time, and talked to them about what it's like to remember everything that ever happens to them. I believe in every case that's been studied, this ability starts for people during adolescence, say age 12, 13, or 14. Suddenly they start remembering every day's events, and then it continues on for the rest of their life. So they can be in old age remembering what happened to them when they were 12. So that's a very strange thing. I don't think about the past much at all, and I don't remember a lot. I do keep a good journal, so I have a record if I need to find it. But these people are fascinating to me. So here are 2 books to read if you're interested. On the left, we have Total Memory Makeover by Marilu Henner. She realizes that her ability is unusual, and she has fun with it. She shares stories about telling people where they met and things they'd done before. And the other people don't remember, but of course she does, because she remembers everything. As an actress, I think it's been helpful for her. And overall, she seems proud of this ability, as you would expect someone to be. In her book, Total Memory Makeover, she talks about how the average person can improve our memories. So her view of this is that we actually remember far more than we think. So she walks you through a process in the book where she says, okay, think through, and this is just an example, I don't remember exactly what she says, but she says something like, think through each of your elementary school teachers. Now think of the family vacations you went on or other significant events. And what she has you do is write down in order the things that you definitely do remember, and then branch off from those items other memories that come back to you. And it turns out there is a ripple effect. When you start recording things that you remember, you do remember other things. So her point, I think, is that we all remember a lot. It's in our brains. We just don't access it regularly, or definitely not the way she does. But she has something special. She admits that also. The book on the right is The Woman Who Can't Forget by Jill Price. Jill Price is not a celebrity except for this book and having this ability, but she gives kind of a different view of what it means to have a highly superior autobiographical memory. For her, it's been more of a curse, and if she could get rid of it, she would. She talks about how damaging it has been for the relationships in her life, because say she has a fight with someone, a family member or something, and years pass and maybe the family member apologizes and they move on. Every time she sees that person, she still remembers the horrible thing that happened, whatever it is. And so, like I say, she writes about how that's affected relationships in her life for the negative. So these are two very different ways to look at the same phenomenon. It's worth reading both of these. There's actually a third book I read, which was great. I wish I could remember the title of it. It was a self-published book where a guy was not born with this condition or didn't develop it in adolescence, but instead he came up with a complex mnemonic system to help him remember what happened every day. Personally, I use the major system of mnemonics to remember things. You can find information about it easily online. It's on Wikipedia and everywhere else. And the major system is a good system for remembering lots of arbitrary data in an ordered way. So you could conceivably use that system to create tag words for years, months, and days. So if I were trying to remember something on today, April 24, 2023, I would have a tag word, some symbol for the year 2023. It could be the fish Nemo from Finding Nemo. That would work. That would be 23 for me. And then another symbol for April, which could be rowing a boat, because that's the number 4. That's in the system. This makes sense if you know the system. And then there would be another symbol for 24. I would have to come up with something for that. And so if I wanted to remember today's events, I would just picture those 3 symbols together and then connect mentally and visually with them maybe the most important thing that happened today, or the person I spent the most time with, or where I was geographically, some notable event. So using that sort of tag system, you could force yourself to remember a little bit about every day. If you did that, I wonder if you'd eventually develop something close to a superior autobiographical memory. You definitely remember more than most people do. But whatever the case, whether you're interested in developing this kind of memory or not, these 2 books are pretty fascinating. The people who have it are interesting.